occupy the front position? Thank you as we compare. Please, let's occupy the front seat. All right, thank you very much. The time now is 7 minutes past 10. And on the agenda, we are meant to start at 10 a.m. Every now and then, a generation is called upon to be great. You can be that generation. These are the words of Nelson Mandela. A very good morning to you all, ladies and gentlemen. And on behalf of B2B Nigeria, I'd like to welcome you all to the 2019 National Economic Dialogue. The National Economic Dialogue of B2B is an annual event which aims to create a veritable platform for businesses to engage with the public and government at all levels in order to address strategic policy issues for sustainable development. The theme of this year's event is digitizing the Nigeria's SME space for profitability. Ladies and gentlemen, major companies today, and in fact, all companies, regardless of size and sector, are all affected by digitization. Indeed, digitization is changing the behavior of everyone, including the business owners and their customers. Most of these customers have become very great stakeholders because they are well informed. They are aware of what digital, or what we say, what technology could do to impact their business profitably. Most customers today, they demand swift, excellent customer services and convenient deliveries because they understand that the power of digital technologies in smart, in mobile, in internet, web, analytics, and cloud. They understand what these technologies could do to their business. Hence, any SME or a business owner who is able to address the needs of these customers will be able to retain their competitive edge. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to once again welcome you to the 2019 National Economic Dialogue of B2B Nigeria. My name is Usman Bakari, and I'm very delighted to be your anchor for today. If you are delighted, just like I'm delighted, please put your hands together for yourself. Thank you very much. It is said that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. These are the words of Mark Twain. So to get started today, we'll start with the opening prayer. But before I do that, there's some adjustments on our program. We all have the programs, right? We have few adjustments on the program. The opening prayer is going to be delivered by a member of the House, in person of Alhaji Ademola Raji. When you look at the presentation 3, NIDA and Dangote Business School will present in place of SAD stores. Under business pitch 4, we have Marquis Concierge, Foliage Academy, and Every Home Emporium. Under the panelist session, we are also going to have the Dangote Business School from Kano to join the panel session. So that's all about the adjustment to the program. Just like I said, so we'll get started by conducting the opening prayer, which is going to be led by a Deputy Director of Banking Supervision Department, the Central Bank of Nigeria, in person of Alhaji Majid Ademola Raji. Please make your way to the podium to deliver the opening prayer. Thank you very much, sir. Please make him welcome. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. I thought since it's just opening prayer, I was going to do it there. Now you have to bring me up. In the name of Allah, the most merciful. Lord, we thank you. We honor and exalt your name. We thank you for a beautiful day like this. We thank you for the gift of life and sound health that enables of us to be here. As we are about to commence this program, Allah, we want to commit the program to you for the success, so that at the end of our deliberation today, the entire accolade and thanks will be to you and you alone. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun alal mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for the prayer. May Almighty God accept our prayers. Without much ado, the next item on our agenda is a documentary which is going to be delivered by the iMedia TV. Are we set? Are we ready, iMedia TV? So we're just going to have a 10-minute documentary on the B2B, the business-to-business Nigeria. Please sit back and relax and enjoy it. Thank you.
and look at what we have to offer.
The varieties of options available in their bouquet offers a very attractive and pocket-friendly alternative to our epileptic power supply.
Solar power is as safe or fire hazardous as normal electricity. That means that the normal fire hazard safety you should engage in with normal electricity is the same rules and regulations you will engage in with solar power.
Muscle Global is a Lagos-based water provider
very sounding round of applause for B2B Nigeria, please. I'm sure we've all enjoyed the documentary. And one thing that one thing that got my attention during the documentary is this. Everything you do in life, or you set to be deliberate about it. This National Economic Dialogue is the fourth of its kind, and it's been on for a few years. It shows that the journey of 1,000 miles, just like you said, begins with a single step. You must not continue to dream forever. Whatever is on your mind that you think of achieving, just do it and get started. Well done, B2B Nigeria. Please, a round of applause for them again. I'd like to use this opportunity to introduce our invited guests. In no particular order, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce the representative of the Nigerian Communication Satellite Limited, NightComSat. Their representative is in the house. He is the representative of the DG of the agency in the person of Malam Muhammad Jia. Please stand up for recognition. Please, a round of applause for him. Yes, thank you so much for coming. Next on my list is the coordinator of MSMEs support unit from the Dangote Business School, person of Dr. Adams Adeza. Please stand up for your recognition. Thank you so much for coming, sir. And also on my list is the National Project Coordinator of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO. He's here with us in person of Mr. Francis Oko. Thank you so much for coming, sir. The next on my list is the representative of SAD Stores in person of Malam Madaki. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate it. Also on my list is the representative of Galaxy Backbone Limited as GBB. They're in charge of the IT infrastructure of Nigeria. They are going to help us to digitize the Nigerian economy for profitability of the Nigerian SMEs. Please make welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the marketing manager of Galaxy Backbone is in person of Mr. Chidi Opala. Please welcome, sir. The last but not the least on my list is the National Information Technology Development Agency. I'm aware, I was simply informed by the DG himself, is meant to be here. I don't know if we have any representatives of NIDA in the house. Please stand up for recognition. Well, I think probably they're on their way, so we expect them. NIDA is also part of our invited guests. Once again, a big round of applause for our invited guests. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your support. The next item on the agenda is the opening remarks. But before I call the person who will give us the opening remark, I'd like to briefly introduce him. Is the B2B Nigeria convener. Now, this is the convener of this platform, this event that we are all gathered here for. He is a chartered economist. He's a certified commercial diplomat, City of London, UK. He's a member of International Institute of Business Analysis, Canada. He is the convener of B2B Nigeria. He's also the CEO of Greenhouse Global Consulting and the CEO of Greenhouse Hub. He's a leader of all leaders. I heard something from one of my mentors a few days ago. Said leaders impact the world. Leaders give to the world, but victims take from the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please with a resounding round of applause, please make welcome Dr. Mustafa Kokola, PhD, to give us his opening remarks. Please, make him welcome, please. Make him welcome. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm privileged to be in front of you to say a short opening remark this morning. And I'm actually impressed by the quality of attendance that we have, not the quantity anyway, because our type of national dialogue has been like this for many years. We usually engage in a very short interface with our guests, and I think we deliberately make it like meeting like 100 businesses, because we want a situation whereby we are able to bond clearly. Greenhouse Global Consult is a company that has been existing for the past 10 years, and part of the initiative of the Greenhouse Global Consult is the B2B Nigeria. B2B, business to business, is a global brand, but we are the only one in this country, or we are the leading person in this country that is actually stepping it down to create a platform around it. And our interest in doing that is to make sure that we are using adaptive and innovative technology to make sure that we create an ecosystem for businesses that might not be like others. So really, we are deliberate about the action. Talking about the national dialogue, our interest is that every year, for the 12th month, we'll be engaging ourselves in business. So what time do we have engaging the publics? We are saying publics now, we are not talking about one single individual. We are looking at publics and government, international, state, national government. And this year, we are looking at digitizing SME space, because we believe that when government is talking about ease of doing business, I want to believe that 2 years ago we were up, and maybe this last ranking we are down by like 2 or 3 steps, and there is no way we actually want to take the quantum leap without technology. So we've seen it working in other African countries. I've been to Kenya, and I can see a lot of businesses that runs on their mobile phones. And I've seen a lot of my colleagues in Nigeria who are actually handling phones that worth $500,000, more than $1 million, and there's no connection between their business and those phones. So they just take the phone, they make call and text message. And as an SME, or the owner of business, by the last count, we are having like 32 million, and we are talking about financial inclusion in the country. And there's no connection between just our phone and the business. Then there's an issue. Then we're talking about job creation, and we have nothing less than 32 million SMEs to service, and nobody's looking at that space to actually play in that area. So for us, we look at it as a very big challenge. You cannot be doing analysis, business analysis, and be using pen and paper going forward. It's like somebody that was into agriculture, like we are into agriculture in Nigeria, maybe since about the independence of this country. And what we've been doing is to use the hoe and cutlass. Again, we want to be competing with the global world where they are using tractor. Let me do a simple analysis for us to really understand what I'm trying to say. Many of the tractors, some of them are having up to what they call 30 horsepower, 40 horsepower. By conversion, traditional conversion, 1 horsepower equals 40 manpower. 40 able manpower equals 1 horsepower. So when you're talking about 30 horsepower, it means 30 times 40. How many men are we required to do exactly the same work that a tractor will do? So if you look at it and you think that is the best way to do your own agriculture, and we are still doing in this country now, then maybe we are not talking about the type of agriculture that is competitive, or we are going to have comparative advantage. So looking at that as a scenario, we are now seeing that our business was actually going that way. And we are checking very well to see that all these sons that we used to know, why are they dead? Is it that they don't have money that time? Is it that they are not multi-billionaire? But where are they today? So because many of them, you cannot actually even track their data. There is nothing you want to use to understand maybe they are making progress or not. They don't know the difference between their income, revenue, and profits. Nothing is doing analysis for them. And the successors of those businesses, they are smarter guys that they have used this money, their own money, to send to Ivy League institutions. So when they come back and they say, Dad, this particular business, I want to take it over. Yes, you've trained me, I want to become an MD in this business. Can I see some of your data? I mean, the dad looks so foolish. What are you asking me? The next thing you see is an insult. But that's not the answer. It's actually asking you a question that you need to answer. So for us not to go that way, that's why we're actually looking at it that, okay, if for years we are talking about agriculture and we are not getting anything out of it, because as of today, we are having less than, I think, 10,000 tractors in the whole country. And now we are talking about a revolution in agriculture. So before all the SMEs, being entrepreneur, who start your own business that we are clamoring for, we go that way too. And in the next 20 years, we are still talking about paper and pen. And no analytical tool, no support to know how to do your business very smartly, then we need to come into that space. And that is space we are looking at today. So all these government agencies, international agencies that have been invited, is to speak to that central topic. At the end of the day, we are looking at these outcomes from this engagement. The number one thing is that going forward, apart from the business hub that we have today, where we have co-location of like 4 CEOs, we are moving forward to have a tech hub. And it's going to be an enterprise tech hub that is going to be deploying solutions for all SMEs in Nigeria. We have the resources in terms of smart guys. Some of them can develop apps, but they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the platform to do that. We are trying to create that platform. In fact, after this session, I think by next month, we are starting what we call our mentorship. That is mentoring plus internship. We are taking 5 guys. We are going to make it rigorous, and we are going to take them in to start something about this digitizing the SME right away from the beginning. Before we are going to have a complete hub where we can have thousands or numbers of them that are going to be servicing SME, we are going to use our existing workstation at the hub now to start up that almost immediately. So we are calling on everybody to please kindly give your support. That is the problem we want to solve. That is the solution we are bringing to the country. And that is our way of saying the best way to do is of doing business. Thank you very much for listening. I welcome you all and hope for a beautiful deliberation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, a round of applause for him again. Please do that for me, please. Thank you very much, Dr. Mustafa Popola. That has been an impactful, inspiring, and a wonderful speech, and I'm sure we'll pick 1 or 2 things from what he said. Just like I said the other time, one of the top 5 leadership experts in the world, Robin Sharma, he said, victims takes from the world. Yes, give to the world. What's lacking in this part of the world today are leaders. Leaders and true leaders that could turn things around for themselves, impact the environment, impact the continent, and impact, and indeed the world. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Popola and his team. They've been doing wonderfully well. Well done, sir. We're moving on to the keynote speech. But before that, I'd like to confirm from our media team whether we are ready. Are we ready? While we are getting ready, in the course of his speech, he highlighted and identified that digitizing the economy is the way forward. As a CEO or as a business owner, whether you are a chief executive officer, whether you are a chief operating officer, and in fact, whether you are a chief plumbing officer, whichever officer, whichever business you are handling, whether you are a farmer, you are anywhere, you have to use technology. The impact of technology in 21st century and indeed in today's world can never be overemphasized. In my opening remarks, I said that there are 4 critical digital technologies in smart, mobile, analytics, and cloud. These 4 things are very important to take your business to the next level. I want to urge us as a people to be interested in what the benefits, the huge benefits technology has come to give us. We cannot run away from it. This is the time. Be available, make yourself available, continue to learn. Just like I said a few weeks ago in a particular event, knowledge is the gateway to the future. And you must continue to learn and relearn. And just like you also highlighted, collaboration is very key. Whatever you have, what skill do you have? You cannot have everything. By the time we come together, we collaborate, we'll be able to move forward and help ourselves first. Like I told a friend of mine yesterday, I said, you have to be deliberate. You have to refuse to be poor. You have to be deliberate. You have to look at yourself, what do I really have? Where do I want to go? It's very key as a person. Where do I want to go? What's your strategy of moving forward? And I'm sure I don't want to preempt all our speakers. They're going to address all these issues. But the central theme is we must be deliberate. We must be focused. We must know where we're going, and we must indeed take action. We can't continue to lament as a people, as a nation. We cannot continue to lament. We must collaborate. We must work together, put ourselves together, and take ourselves out of this present situation. We must refuse to be poor as a nation. Thank you very much for listening. A round of applause for me, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're moving on to the keynote speech, and just like I said, the keynote speech is going to be delivered by our own, because Mr. Francis is our own. He's one of the leaders who is shaping the economy, who is contributing immensely to taking us further in today's world. I've introduced him earlier, just like I said. Mr. Francis Uko is the National Project Coordinator of the UNIDO HP Life. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome once again Mr. Francis Uko is going to give us the keynote speech. Please, I crave your indulgence for him to speak from his position. So I will be taking the mic to him. I'm sure all of us are going to hear him clearly. Please make him welcome, Mr. Francis Uko.
Thank you very much, and good morning, everybody. First of all, let me bring to all of us the greetings from the UNIDO representative, Mr. Jim Bakole, who is engaged in another activity this morning. Looking at the issue at hand, the digitizing Nigeria SME is of doing business space for profitability. I think this issue cannot be overemphasized. And digitizing our economy or our own SME space is something that we have to pay great attention. Technology has come to stay, and we cannot run away from it. But the problem we are having when it comes to technology, some people believe is very expensive. It is not. The cost of technology in terms of ease of doing business, we will get there. Technology has great advantage. Sometimes what we use or what we have in our hands, like Dr. Popola mentioned, you have a phone in your hand. What you do is to send text messages. People sit on WhatsApp for hours, Facebook for hours, Instagram for hours. What do you use them for? You can take advantage of all this to make gains, to promote your businesses. And it is easy for you to make huge profit using this technology. But the point is, how do you use them? There are so many apps that you can use to promote your businesses. And another thing is the skills. We don't train people in this country to acquire certain skills. And sometimes people run away from the training. Most importantly, some organizations are giving this training, sometimes free. But I realize that some of this training that people are getting, when it is free, they don't value it. I think it is important for us to realize that for you to have a vibrant and profitable SME, we need skills. And we need to train people using the right curriculum. And if we don't do that, we cannot make any headway. So I think for me, dialogue like this is very important, and this will shape our future. And if we can deploy the right technology to do what we are doing, I think we can make more gains. SME is very important in any economy. And if you don't put them on the right track and apply the right technology and skills, we remain where we are. So it is important for us from today to think differently, to think out of the box, to know the direction we are going, to know the right technology to use. Of course, there are technologies, but sometimes you may bring in technologies that cannot help you. So in identifying technology, you really need to know what the gains are. Sometimes people are afraid that by the time you deploy technology, sometimes people will lose jobs. It is not so. It's only going to help you to improve on what you are doing. It is only going to help you to get accurate results. Data is very, very important. We lock up our data in files, in a drawer, in cupboards, that other people cannot access. You know why? Popular mentioned government ministries. Do you know why they don't digitalize? Because they want to hide people's files. If those files and everything is digitalized, anybody can have access to it. But people want to bring up files, you pay money before they bring up your file to do. No, in 21st century, we cannot continue with that. Why would a pensioner stay for 5 years verifying their information when you can create a database that anybody, you don't need to be in Nigeria. That's the advantage. You can be anywhere in the world to access information, to approve information. And I think this is the way we should be looking at. For us as UNIDO, we are doing a lot in this direction. As an introduction, UNIDO is United Nations Industrial Development Organization. What we do is to promote industrial development for poverty reduction. And in this way, we also, as our mission, promote inclusive and sustainable industrial development. And we anchor our activities on 4 key strategies: increasing shared prosperity, advancing economic competitiveness, safeguarding the environment, and strengthening knowledge and innovation. To support the SME, we have outlined a lot of programs and projects to support this. And one of them is the HP Life project. The HP Life project is a partnership project with HP. HP developed the curriculum. The curriculum is online, is free, is digitalized. What I mean is, it is a curriculum to train the SMEs to use ICT to enhance their business processes. That's what I mean by, if you, in 21st century, you are not choosing the right curriculum, then we are where we are. HP Life has 30 courses. And out of these 30 courses, it teaches you how to bring in technology to solve your daily business challenges. I think as we go on, I'm going to expatiate on this. Another project to promote SME development is the ECP, Entrepreneurship Curriculum Program. This program is infusing entrepreneurship in secondary curriculum, especially the 32 trade subjects. The ITPO, that is Investment Technology Promotion Office. This is the first office in Africa. We have it in China, we have it in Japan, we have it in Italy, Germany, but this is the first we have in Africa, and it is in Nigeria. The office is in Lagos. This project is to help the SME on investment promotion, the use of technology, market access, and others. Now we have quarterly meeting with the OPS. UNIDO as an organization understands and knows the importance of the OPS, that's the organized private sector. What we do is quarterly, we meet with them to hold a dialogue, to think of what Nigeria as a country, the direction it would go in terms of industrial development. And then we have renewable energy, small hydro, biomass, solar, and others. Now we have these projects to support the renewable energy of the country mix. We have developed some of them, and we have trained some Nigerians to develop this sector. We have a small hydro in Bauchi, in Enugu, and we are developing some new sites in other states. The Stable Crop Processing Zone is one of the projects we started with Ministry of Agriculture during the last administration, and we have developed sites in some states. It is a zone that you have a kind of one-stop shop for agri-processing, where you have enough land to build common facilities and other things that will solve our agri challenges. Automotive Industrial Park. This is one sector that we just developed in Anambra State, Newe, and we believe we can progress with that. Of course, in all this, we are not working alone as UNIDO. We involve government, we involve the private sectors. And I think with all of us here, we can key into some of these projects and work together with UNIDO. We are also planning to develop what we call Center of Excellence. The Center of Excellence, we are looking at providing a common solution for the SME sector, having a center like a one-stop shop built in Lagos, where we have all players that look at SME sectors and they can provide solutions for them. We hope to have this center in Lagos, and I believe most of us here will be part of it. And I think our last meeting with Dr. Popola with his team has indicated interest that his organization will be part of this. And let me also mention that we are going to B2B center as one of our HP Life Center. And that's business, technology business. Of course, as we mentioned, technology revolution play a very key role in designing activities globally. And the mix of blending technology with entrepreneurship in this 21st century is what we are looking out for. And that is why, as UNIDO, we adopt the HP Life curriculum. As you know, the HP Life is a global program that trains students, entrepreneurs, and small business owners to apply IT and business skills to establish and grow a business, build successful companies, and create jobs. We believe with the mix of IT and entrepreneurship, the ease of doing business will be awesome. So we should focus on curriculum that has a mix of entrepreneurship or a blend of entrepreneurship to do what we are doing as SME. We collaborate with institutions and both private and public institutions to deliver this program. Some universities are also in Nigeria already. We have about 8 universities that are keying into this project. We have over 25 SME institutions that are keyed into this project. And just last week, there's African Sport Development Center who wants to get into this project. The idea is to ensure that our young players who are going into football as a career should also have an entrepreneurship mindset. So they are keying into this. This curriculum is designed not only for the practicing SME, it's for the aspiring SME as well, and also for the young ones. In Anambra State, the governor was kind enough to adopt this curriculum for the secondary school. And as of today, we have trained over 125 teachers in Anambra State to deploy this curriculum. And I think this is what some of us should be doing, not only for the SME sectors, but also having a mindset of our young ones change. Of course, we know right now there are no jobs. So we should change the mindset of our young ones to know that you have to be entrepreneurial to. It is part of the curriculum for HP Life. Of course, we know in doing business, you have to begin to think of the business idea. In thinking of the business idea, you look at the basic things that will help you in doing your business. And then you start your business, you have to think of the kind of technology that you need to deploy at the initial stage, because not all technology are needed as you are starting the business. Then as you grow the business, you may require different set of technology and of course bringing in innovation. So at the end of the day, if you look at the four sectors, you look at the operation, finance, communication, and marketing, we are going to train people, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, on how to deploy technology in solving all these daily business challenges. And of course we know that if you apply technology in all of this, it's not only being smart, but it is what you know that the time consumption is removed and the productivity is high. So it is time now that we have to start thinking of how to deploy, even in marketing, social media, so that we know the phone that we are using is not meant for only phone calls. It helps us in doing our businesses, in marketing, in social media marketing, and in mail, in blocking, and all other things. You may not need to. While I bring in the service provider, is the cost of data. That's one thing that people are afraid, that the cost of data is high. I think if our service provider, of course, we can also share, we can network. We are not saying that you can do it alone. You can also, create partnership with others to deploy technology in doing what you are doing. Of course, the most important thing is having the right skill. So we need to train people to have the right skill, to deploy technology and know how to use them effectively and to maximize their gain. So I will say for those of you who are ready to key into this project, we are going to work with you, and B2B is one of them. In Nigeria today, we've sent about 10 people outside to train as master's trainers. Some of them are university professors. So we have the right skill to train people. We've trained 10 master trainers who are here in the country to train trainers. And in all, we have trained so far about 300 trainers across the country. We have deployed this project in 22 states so far. We have centers in 22 states, and we believe we can cover most states. Not only that, we can have more than 5 centers in each state. So it is time for us to come together. It is time for us to work as a group. One important thing that we should know is that in 21st century, we must promote collaboration. We must have access to the right technology. In terms of energy efficiency, we need to deploy that are energy efficiency to help us to maximize our product. And also, we must know how to use this technology effectively to achieve maximum results. Next slide. Like I said, the HP Life has 2 modules. One is online, that is free. So far in Nigeria, between 2017 and 18, we have about 8,000 people that are actually keying into this online. We have a record counting of people keying in, and out of the 30 modules, how many people are doing what? So far we have about 8,000. And then what we call the face-to-face blended training, we have trained about 1,000 people. And the important thing about the face-to-face blended training is it will expose you to real practical way of doing business and applying the technology. Of course, the online course is very good, but for us to give you the real understanding, you need to brought in the blended training face-to-face program. We've, so far, we have partnered with 10, how many? We have partnered with 12 universities And we have partnered with 41 secondary schools and 25 SME institutions. And we believe that we can have more people. The program is funded by UNIDO and some government agencies. And I believe, thank God, the Dangote man is here. Dangote was part of this program where we drafted the project document. I don't know what happened. We don't hear from you again. And I think we can still visit because we cannot do it alone as UNIDO. If we can put resources together, the important thing is reaching out to the SMEs and giving them the right curriculum that will help them in doing their businesses. Of course, I know there are so many entrepreneurs in the, but how good are they? You know, how good are they? Some of these curriculum are even causing more problems for the SMEs than providing the solution. Have worked with some service providers, and some time they talk about this, you now realize that we still have a long way to go. Lagos Business School adopt this curriculum, and they're doing very well. Domeko Yugo University, like I mentioned to Dr. Popola, by the time they start training on HP Live, they will now know the importance of applying technology in doing whatever we are doing. So the issue of using technology and this 21st century is very important. For us to achieve and maximize the profit, we need to adopt the right curriculum.